going on, Latrice? Remember the arrow. Remember the arrow. Alright, what's going on? Let me get straight into this message. My name is Ari, the Healing Empress, aka the Fly Goddess. Let me see what's going on in this energy. Alright, change is here. There's change when it comes to a living room. Alright, and a rich gentleman. Alright, love is here. Wealth. Change. Alright, so something is changing when it comes to a living room situation. Popped out again. Something's changing when it comes to love. Alright. I just feel like a lot of things are floating and switching around at this time. Alright. Let's see. A lot of things are changing. Alright. Bold expression, non-control, confident, charismatic. Alright. Something's ending so that something can begin, alright? It's like you're moving away from false representatives, false people. Alright, calling judgment on the situation. Courthouse is here. Alright, strife is here. Calling judgment on anything that does not align with love and light. Alright, getting rid of anything that causes darkness. Alright, if you are interested in unlimited readings, thank you for the light, love. Alright, if you are interested in unlimited readings, I have one special going. Alright, $70 for a whole year of unlimited readings. Alright, just a month alone is $100. Alright, unlimited. So if you want to purchase a year of unlimited, alright, a year unlimited for $70. Alright, the first person $50 for a whole year. The first person $50 for a whole year. Alright, the list is open if you are wanting a read. Alright, practical provider. Alright, a practical provider. Alright, so providing what's necessary. Alright, something's moving forward, alright. There's a surge of energy coming your way. Creativity, some sort of new beginning with a pleasant letter. Alright, some sort of pleasant letter is coming your way. Alright, if you are interested in an unlimited read for an entire year, alright, it is $70. If you already have unlimited, alright, you can add to it as well. First person, $50 for an entire year. Second person, $70, alright, for an entire year of unlimited reads. Alright, courthouse is here. Courthouse is here. Fly monkey. Alright, somebody got caught up doing something. Somebody thought that they were going to get away with something. Alright, ascending. Somebody thought that they were going to stop somebody from moving forward in a relationship. Alright, but somebody is sadly mistaken. Alright. Justice is here. Alright, donation readings are open as well. Pathway. Alright, pathway is here. Pathway. Alright, North Node is here. Alright, so get ready to celebrate. Alright, so a pathway is clear, wide open. Alright, ready for a celebration. Alright, Somebody was trying to manipulate some sort of financial stability, but it's not working. All right, unlimited readings for a whole year. All right, $70. All right, for the first person, $50 for an entire year. All right, for an entire year of unlimited readings. If you have unlimited, you can add it as well. Unlimited monthlies are 100 now. All right, so if you want to take advantage of that offer, first person. All right, let's see. All right, if you're wanting to do a road opener, or you wanted to cut cords, all right, that is available with the first and second read, all right, with the on the spot read and the love read. It comes with a damn, I just lost train of thought just that quick. All right, if you're looking to cut cords, all right, if you're looking to call in a job, money, a car, whatever you're calling in, all right, it comes with the first and second read. All right, so something's coming to an end here. Somebody's trying to win at all costs. That's coming to an end. There's a surprise abandonment. Somebody could be leaving. Somebody could be moving. All right, somebody could be leaving and somebody could be moving. Endings is here, so it's definitely an ending coming to something. All right, somebody had their eyes on somebody's long-term investments. All right, donations are accepted at this time and heavily needed. All right, karmic femme. All right, so there's a karmic femme that's leaving. Message of concern. Message of concern. Okay. Somebody doing some work. Somebody was doing some work behind the scenes. Somebody thought somebody was gonna get away with something, and somebody's not. Again, long-term vision, investment. Somebody has been doing something for a long ass time. All right, and something finally is no longer working anymore. All right, yeah, moving on is here. And mentally and emotionally unstable. All right, so this person is mentally and emotionally unstable from doing shit up under the moon. All right, yeah, imbalance. All right, this person doesn't have balance in their life. All right, this person was determined to do something. All right, so that somebody will not break free of a situation. Well, damn. Somebody didn't want somebody to have wish fulfillment. Karma's here. Karma is here. Entity attachment. All right, this person has some sort of a dark entity attachment. All right, victory is here. There's a victory here in the mix of all of this. All right, real love, mature woman. I have motherly love. The card here is motherhood and love. Yeah. What's going on? All right, unlimited readings for a whole entire year for $70 for one person. Thank you. All right, for the first person, it is 50. All right, if anybody is wanting a reading, please let me know. All right, the list is open. All right, protection and healing is here. All right, so if anybody's sending anything your way, all right, you're being protected at this time. All right, something is coming. Something is coming your way, though. All right, expectations, though. All right, priestess. Somebody's concerned about it, too, because it has everything to do with you walking in your divinity. It's something that you're supposed to be receiving. All right, and somebody wanted to block this from you. Somebody wanted to block something from being on your pathway. All right, somebody didn't want you to have this protection. All right, you were supposed to be in some sort of inner conflict. All right, dealing with childhood wounds. All right, well, goddamn, who the fuck? Somebody's being blocked. Somebody wanted you to be dealing with childhood wounds, like like they do. All right, priest and divinity here, but you too close to God. All right, and you've healed a lot of things in your life, and this person is concerned because this entity and this person has nowhere to go. It has no one to aggravate. All right, balance is here. Yeah, this person is only breaking their own heart, trying to do goofy shit. All right, Ace of Wands, because something's still moving forward for you. Your intuition is sharp as fuck. All right, partnership. All right, and heartbreak. Somebody is in grief and adversity. All right, because of your inheritance, because of your exploration, the way that you just move forward. All right, courage, control, inner strength, and bravery is here. All right, somebody don't like the fact that you can see shit. All right, or it, again, that just be getting in the way of someone's ignorance. All right, the fact that your discernment is so strong. All right, if anybody is interested in a reading, all right, the list is open. If you are interested in unlimited readings for an entire year, all right, first person, $50 for the entire year. All right, second person, $70, all right, for the entire year. All right. If anybody is interested in cutting cords, please let me know. All right, road opening. All right, jobs, vehicles, anything that has anything to do with the applications. All right, getting things approved. All right, child is here. Long-term investments. All right. Somebody jealous and envious. Somebody don't like the fact that you got choices, protection. Somebody don't like the fact that you got a lot of choices, that you got a lot of protection is what I'm hearing. All right, falsified because they're false. All right, they can't do what the fuck they want to do. All right, somebody thought that they could do what they wanted to do, winning at all costs. All right, faith is here. All right, child is here. All right, if anybody is wanting a reading, please let me know. The list is open. All right, it's like karmics are trying to stir up childhood trauma or some shit. It's not working though. All right, something is being laid to rest. Somebody doing some death magic. All right, so that means that somebody finna get laid down. All right, new beginnings is here. A new beginnings is here. All right, the list is open. Unlimited readings for an entire year if anybody is interested. First person is $50. All right, and the second person is $70. All right, for unlimited readings for an entire year. All right, if you are interested. All right, competition. There's a lot of people in competition with you right now. All right, self-love is here. And skill development. Mature man. I think you're just seeing all the flaw shit around you, and it's so easy. All right, it's like right in your face. All right, voodoo is here. What was meant for you not to see it's so easy for you to see. All right. Thank you, Marvin. All right, if anybody wants to donate, it is greatly appreciated and greatly fucking needed at this time. All right, if you would like to donate, please let me know. All right, Cash App is available. Everything but Zelle. All right. If you are wanting a reading, please let me know. All right, cutting cords, opening roads. All right, trying to get that job, trying to get that home. All right, it comes with the first and second reading, the $40 and the $30 reading. All right, if you're wanting unlimited readings for a year, first person $50, second person $70. All right, somebody was obsessed with doing voodoo. All right, to stop some sort of rebirth, awakening from happening, to stop some sort of victory from happening, but something's happening anyway. It's awakening. Somebody is dead. Somebody is finding out that they can't stop shit. All right, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, temptation. Somebody was determined to stop some shit. Somebody was doing a lot of work in the background in order just to cause confusion. All right, Ace of Pentacles. But Ace of Pentacles is here. A new beginning, a prosperous new beginning, abundant manifestations and opportunity. All right, if somebody try to steal this opportunity, all right, you got people who will try to steal opportunities from you out here. All right, and that's putting you in fucked up situations where you feel like something that you don't deserve for, you don't go for. All right, and relationships is one of them. Jobs. All right, they make you feel unworthy, and then you feel like you can't have shit, and then you don't go for shit. All right, so let's see. All right, yeah, block. These people are blocking out of your energy. All right, if you are wanting unlimited reads for a month, unlimited reads for a year. The first person is $50. Second person is $70. All right, first come, first serve. All right, donation readings are available at this time, so whatever you send in, all right, you may get a read as well. All right, if you are interested, either one of these reads here to the side of me. All right, the first and second one does come with cutting cords, and it comes with road opener. All right, ancestors is here. Somebody mad because you connected to your ancestors. All right, they give you a balance. Somebody don't like that because you follow your intuition and you listen to them. All right, they tell you shit. Yep, guidance. They tell you shit. People are not liking that. All right, sweetheart, you still can stay in your energy because you already know what the fuck it is all around you. All right, somebody fear change, feeling stuck, unable to move forward. They can't because of your energy. Whatever they was trying to do, they can't do it. Ice King, this is a masculine energy. All right, an emperor, a father figure. All right, that's trying to cause heartache to an earth angel. That's going to find themselves in a legal situation. All right, for fucking with a divine feminine. Damn. Balance is here. Balance is coming regardless. Right, Ice King. A rich girl. Somebody just got a lustful spirit and just... But blissful times is coming. Blissful times is coming. You're breaking away from the bullshit. Breaking away from the bullshit, moving. Alright, does anybody want unlimited reading? I got one person. It's a crazy ass offer. One person for unlimited reads for a year and a half. A year and a half. Unlimited reading for $84. A year and a half. If you can find somebody who wants a reading for a year and a half for $84, I give you a year for free. I'll give you a year for free. If you can find somebody who wants a read for unlimited for a year and a half for $84. Let's see what that do. All right, a narcissistic gold digger. Damn, moving on from a narcissistic gold digger. A person who only give a fuck about money, don't give a fuck about shit else, don't want to do shit else unless it got something to do against the money. All right, this is a boring motherfucker. All right, all they want to do is, all they care about is money. They're selfish. They don't want to do shit with it, but they just want it. Like, all right, it's like a person who make money and don't do shit with it. Like, don't go nowhere, don't do shit, you know what I'm saying? But just want it. All right, fire sign is significant. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. All right, something's coming to an end. All right, some sort of cycle. All right, communication is here. Communication is here. Pregnancy in reverse. All right. Somebody could be trying to spy, trying to see what you're doing. All right, communicate. Caution, intimacy, moving. Somebody could be trying to stop somebody from moving. I don't know. What's going on, love? What's going on? All right, if anybody is interested in a year and a half, all right, a year and a half of readings, $84. $84 for a year and a half of reading. All right, if you are interested in a reading for a year, first person $50, second person $70. All right. Donation readings are available. All right, if you are interested in purchasing a read, all right, the first 2 reads do come with cord cutting. Road opener, if you're calling in a job, or whatever you're calling in, all right. Somebody's trying to figure something out. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. There's a new love cycle here. Complete happiness. There's some sort of information coming in about finances the next 24 hours. That's going to bring you some sort of joy. Farm is here. Previous lover. All right, what you feel is right. Set up energy. All right, Spirit is setting you up for greatness. All right, Aries, Taurus is here. All right, action. There's going to be a lot of action around finances. All right, a lot of action around finances. All right, somebody trying to do spell work to harm you. Unexpected gain is the only thing that you're receiving, though. All right, what's going on, y'all? All right, $50, unlimited readings for the first person, $70 for the second. All right, a year and a half, $84 for unlimited reads. All right, fraudulent workings. All right, so somebody could be getting caught up with some fraudulent, doing something fraudulent. What's going on, love? Donation readings are available this morning. All right, donations are definitely needed. All right, ancestors are taking over. All right, new love cycle. There's a new love cycle here. There is a new love cycle here. There's a message coming for change. Again, your ancestors is taking over. Maybe they are not playing. All right, uncle. Something about an uncle is here. All right, new love life. Somebody know they can't get over on you. All right, somebody trying to be slick in the vicinity. All right, stole from you, road trip. All right, and uncle is here. Unexpected loss. Somebody having some sort of unexpected loss. All right, road trip. Something about a road trip and unexpected loss. All right, fake apology here. Somebody doing something you can't resist. All right, somebody told the karmic the truth or art. Hermit mode. Something is coming to the surface. There's something coming to the surface. What's going on, y'all? All right, unlimited readings for a year. First person, $50. Unlimited reading for a year. What's going on, love? Unlimited reading for the first person, $50. All right. Second person, $70. All right, for a year and a half. Fuck it, 2 years. $84. All right, those are the flash sales that I got going for 3 people. All right, 3 people this AM. All right, if you are interested in unlimited readings, all right, 2 years for $84. All right, 2 years for $84. If you are interested. All right, messages coming for change. All right, if anybody is interested in calling in quick money, all right, job, relocation. All right, the burn and release is for you. All right, the burn and release is what helped me relocate 15 hours away. Shit, a week later, unexpectedly. All right, it helps a girl with eviction. They let her stay. Helps a girl with getting a vehicle and a job. All right, great turnaround, great results. If anybody is interested, all right, now is the time. It is also a burn and release connected to the 40/40 read and the 30/30 read. All right, getting the divorces here. All right, so definitely breaking away from old patterns. All right, within the next 72 hours. You could be finding out about some fraudulent work that's going on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this read. I hope you enjoyed.